Hello people from under the sky and around the globe. So tonight we will be preparing a rice with these ingredients. This is the mixed veggies and some two hot dogs. Two hot dogs. So come on! The first thing that I will do is to wash these hot dogs in running water. First. Then I will remove the casings from these hot dogs. And don't forget to thaw your hot dogs, because we will shy away from undercooking as it may lead to foodborne illness. You can also use more hot dogs, but as for me, since I live alone, I think these two are just enough. And after removing the casing, I wash it again with water. And so now, I think these hot dogs are ready to be sliced. By the way, I took this video the other night, but I didn't have the time to edit, so I'm just uploading this today. And hello to the chicken on the background. I'll find ways to adobo you next time. But for now, it's time to slice these hot dogs lengthwise into 4 long strips. Of course, you can slice it the way you want. I just prefer to slice them this way because I will further slice them into cube-like sizes next. And just to warn you, this recipe does not include any spices. Not because it is the right thing or the ideal thing to do, but because first, I don't have any stock, and second, it was already late at night when I took this video, and I think all the sari-sari stores nearby are now closed. I just have to make use of whatever I have, since I don't think my tummy would be very understanding if I don't eat anything that night. This recipe mainly consists of just hot dogs, mixed veggies, which I bought from SM the last time I went grocery shopping, oyster sauce, and of course our rice. So here they are, our hot dog strips. I have now 8 strips from my 2 hot dogs, and I will be slicing them into much smaller cubes. 1, 2, 3. When I'll be ready, the 2 hot dogs will be transformed into cubes. So now I'm just slicing the strips into cubes. And ta-da! Presenting to you the final result. And now it's time to get the main ingredient of our recipe, of course, the fried rice. It is best to use a leftover rice when cooking fried rice, because why would you fry a newly cooked rice anyway, when you can partner it with any dish or any viand without going through the process of cooking fried rice? And one of the many purposes of cooking fried rice is to make use of a leftover rice so as to make it not a waste. What? What did I just say? So as to make it not a waste? Oh my goodness. What am I thinking? So while I'm doing this, I'm reminded of the verse from Genesis chapter 9 verse 3 that says, "Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. And as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything." This verse is part of God's covenant with Noah and his family after the great flood. The verse emphasizes that God provides humans with everything they need to sustain themselves. It also indicates that food is a gift from God and should be used wisely and gratefully. Overall, this verse suggests that food is a basic necessity for human life and that it should be valued and appreciated as a gift from God. It also reminds us of the importance of responsible and ethical consumption and encourages us to consider the impact of our choices on the world around us. So back to our cooking. After fluffing up the rice so it doesn't stick together, we can now begin cooking our fried rice. Let's get some oil to fry our ingredients. As I was thinking I had spices on hand, I poured the oil to the pan thinking that I will be cooking spices first. But when I remember that I didn't have any spices, I remove the oil from the pan and begin again. So now let's turn on the stove to make sure that the pan is heated to the appropriate temperature. And why am I absent-minded tonight? Am I really that hungry? Anyway, I'm now lowering the heat to prevent the food from burning or cooking too quickly on the outside while remaining raw on the inside. Next, I'm gonna pour water on the pot. I'm boiling the hot dogs to cook them through before frying them for added flavor and texture. It also helps to remove any bacteria or germs that may be present. Boiling hot dogs also helps to keep them moist and juicy, which can be important if they are cooked further in oil. This is a common technique used in many recipes, particularly for dishes that require the hot dogs to be crispy on the outside while remaining juicy on the inside. I'm stirring the hot dogs until all the water has evaporated. This helps to distribute the heat evenly and prevent them from sticking to the pan or burning. As the water evaporates, it helps to concentrate the flavors of the hot dogs and give them a firmer texture. And after that, we can now add the oil. Hear that? Is it just me or anyone else who loves the sound of sizzling oil? It's so satisfying to hear. I'm adding the mixed vegetables now to give the dish some color, texture, and flavor. They also enhance the nutritional value of the dish and add some visual appeal. Mixed vegetables, such as carrots, green peas, and corn, are often used in recipes because they are easy to prepare and have relatively mild flavor that complements many other ingredients. They are also a good source of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which can help to improve digestion and overall health. So I am now stirring them to the dish to ensure that they are evenly distributed. You may also want to season them lightly with salt and pepper to enhance their flavor. As for me, I'm adding oyster sauce now to add some depth of flavor and umami to the dish. So Mamacita's oyster sauce back in a man. When adding oyster sauce, use a small amount at first and taste the dish to see if it needs more. Oyster sauce is quite salty, so be careful not to add too much or the dish may become too salty. Anyway, you can always add more later if needed. Stir the sauce into the dish and make sure it is evenly distributed. Stir, stir, stir. Stir the oyster sauce. Stir, stir, stir. Stir it all the more. Stir, stir, stir. And I'm getting hungry now. Stir with oyster. Tack, tack. And finally, I'm adding the rice now to bring everything together and create a delicious filling meal. When adding rice, it is important to use cooked leftover rice that has been cooled down to room temperature or chilled in the refrigerator for at least a few hours. This will prevent the rice from becoming mushy and sticky. So I am now stirring the rice into the other ingredients to ensure that it is evenly distributed. I will be cooking and stirring this for a few minutes to allow the flavors to meld together and for the rice to heat up. And ta-da! Presenting my very own fried rice. If you are still with me, you can also add additional seasonings or sauces to the dish at this point to adjust the flavor to your liking. And that's it! This has been Hello People. You can subscribe to our channel for more videos every Friday. So people from under the sky and around the globe, thank you, okay, bye!